Hello and welcome to the finale of the AMS2 Community Cup of 2025. We are live with server 1, catching the tail end of practice, as we have been doing, which will be spent just having a little look through the field at the liveries, what cars people are in. We are in the modern LMP2 class today at the bumpy Sebring. As you can tell by the chassis movement of the car, it is bumpy out there. And there are two cars in this class. There is a Ligier P217 and the Orica 07. And there is a mix of cars out there today. So let us have a look in championship order. If I can get my list up here. So, leading the championship and already confirmed to have won, because they are 147 points ahead, is MVRC. With today we have Jake and JK with us. With the classic MVRC livery here. Let's see if... I don't believe there are alternates this time around. Doesn't look it. Then... in P2 in the championship, which is very much still wide open, we have Team RRC. Gone back to their Italian color schemes, which I always quite liked, with some black in there for this one. I always liked the Italian flag theme on their liveries. They haven't done many of those this year. There was a bunch of them last year from what I remember. Then in P3 in the championship, with a points gap of 18 points. That is still wide open, as I said. We have KCSR. We have a car just practicing their pit line here. Gives us plenty of time to have a look at the livery, unless it goes out. There we go. Beautiful livery as always. In fourth place, also fighting for position, is AMS2. Which we have here. We have J-Turn in the Ligier. I wonder if both of them are in the Ligier. Supposedly the Orica is faster. Or at least easier to extract pace out of. Let's find the other AMSU car here. There we have... can we tell from this angle? Is there something giving it away? Let's compare booties here. They look the same, so that is two Ligiers. Two off picks, so they will either have to be blistering in them or make some strategy calls. I don't know if it has any advantages to make up for it being harder to extract pace out of. Hello, Mr. Andre and Mary. Then, in fifth place, we have 10 tenths. We have Redacted with us today, along with... who is our other 10 tenths driver? If any. Does not look like he has a companion today, unless I'm blind. At least not at the moment. With a red and black livery. Then, right behind them, 5 points separating them, we have Team NRT in P6 in the championship. We have right here their classic colors. And with Tines we have Krish here. Then in P7 we have Team RPM. There's Jake of RPM. And I noticed they've put their names on the livery. On the shark fin here. That's quite cool. He's accompanied by Donnie, who has not tacked up his name. I will name and shame. Then we have Team SSR, who have backed out of the championship, so there's nothing to see there. And behind them, 21 points behind, we have the Racing Engineers, who we have here in an Orica, or in a Ligier, and an Orica, this looks like. Yeah, this is an Orica in the pit lane. So they have split and taken a car each. And then we have SRGP, 21 points behind. No, sorry, that is not 21 points. That is 53 points. I was looking at the wrong gap here. I have Andy here, also in a Ligier, so a few of them out there. And he is accompanied by Alpha Signal, who is currently facing a barrier. There we go. And then we have Club 50 in P11. Club 50 in the pit lane here. Do we have a Club 50 car on track? It doesn't look it. We'll have to try and remember to get a look at their livery in qualifying. And finally, we have Slipstream Racing. We have Bill just coming out of the pit lane. Alongside Jakub here. He's also in an Orica. So championship-wise, MVRC has wrapped up the team championship. No matter what, it is won here. P2 and 3 are still up for grabs by RRC, KCSR, and AMS2. And 5th is also very close, between 1010s, NRT, RPM, and the Racing Engineers. Let's see here. Drivers' Championship-wise, Jake has already wrapped it up. He has solidified it. Blank File, Mattia, JK, and Frano, and Dun Dun Gizmo are all competitors for P2 and 3. We only have JK here out of those. In Division 1, that is. In Division 2, we have Pavel of AMSU present here. He is competing. He is P1 is not sealed off, but there is a solid lead. And behind him, let's see here. The gap to P1 from Pavel is 11 points, and from him to P3, where we have Savage Patty, who is also on a different server, is a gap of 7 points. So that is also wide open. So he'll be looking to do well here today. As practice is now wrapping up and we can move to qualifying, which will be 15 minutes. And it is not a private session today, so there might be some chaos to see. See if we have an opportunity to have a look at a Club 50 car there too. Is it still in the pit lane? It is. Let's just wait for practice to wrap up here. Yeah, final race. Good luck, Jake. Have fun out there. I mean, you've already wrapped up all the championships there are to wrap up. So let's just wait for qualifying to get started here. Let's see here. Yeah, you guys have been putting in some serious effort. It's been impressive to watch on the sidelines. Andre, no, I believe, yeah, he's got a very busy day tomorrow, so that is why Paddy is representing MVRC on the other server. Now, Jake, if you wouldn't mind, there's a qualifying session and I need a fast lap to yap over. Right, let's see here. Glenn just exploring the grass, most likely on cold tires, hard to adjust back to when you've just been in on a car that was all ready to go. Just suddenly back to a car that just won't do as you ask of it. Let's get the track map going. And also this, because I know I'll forget it for the, oh, it's Sim Hub being, Sim Hub may be betraying me. It seems it is. That is unfortunate, because I'm not gonna fix that live. The only thing I may try is just updating Sim Hub while we're here and waiting for outlaps. That is my Hail Mary, and if that doesn't work, unfortunately we will not have the driver tracker overlay today. Who do we have about to start a lap? We have... that is not who I was looking for, but he is just about to start a lap. Mr. Jake of RPM. Let's jump on board, see how he gets on. As we come down the start-finish straight here, which goes into a super high-speed left turn. You'll really want to take advantage of all the downforce you can, but the track is bumpy. And it is hard to take advantage of it. Here you have a deceptively long braking zone into this long left-hander, lower speed than you want it to be, into an even lower speed left-hander. You really open it up, get on the power as early as you can. There are a ton of bumps that make it difficult. Let's try and get the driver tracker. Yes, excellent. Into a hard braking zone into this hairpin. There's a bit of fresh tarmac there that helps you get some extra grip, so you can brake late there compared to the rest of the track. Then you have this bit of curvy straight where you then brake hard again into this right left, just going a little deep, but there are a few lines that work here. You can take a conservative entry and try and get the exit, or you can go the other way around into this tricky right-hander where you'll want to be as close as the curb as you can get, but you do not want to use it, especially not in a prototype. It will unsettle the car. And the entry is also a bit off camber when you open up the corner completely. Down here into the final twisty section. A long right-hander, again very high speed, and you want to use all the track you can. Just get over the white line there. You can take a bit more than what was done here by Jake. And now you go down the long straight. So this whole straight is the reason you try and minimize drag at Sebring, even though the rest of it is a very much a downforce circuit. And you turn into Sunset Bend, you're on the brake, and then finally you're done trail braking and you can get out of there. And there are a ton of lines to take through there as well. So where does that put Jake? That puts him with a 150.5, promptly just about beaten by Johnny B, one of our faster drivers on today's server. Or known faster drivers, not to say anything of Jake. He is also a very, very competent driver. Speaking of Jakes, let's have a look with Jake of MVRC, who is just finishing what I believe to be his first qualifying lap. Wide through, oh, just having a bit of a moment through Sunset Bend. He will be riding this lap off. But tires take time to warm up, so he will keep going. That's a 151.7. Let's have a look with his second lap here. Go right to the apex. You don't want to necessarily get all the way to the wall. You don't need to. You can carry a bit more speed if you don't get all the way in, especially when you have some downforce. Into the left-hander. Doesn't open up the entry as much as RPM Jake did. But that may be what works for this Jake. Onto this little straight before the hairpin. Braking super late, just getting in there on the apex, taking all the track he can on the exit. Then to the right, to the left, this is all flat out. Before you hit the brakes here for the right left. Want to brake later, but it just is not a grippy surface. You see, he does not go as deep in there. So it is a little set of corners where you can do multiple things, and both will actually be fast enough. To the left here, and back to the left. Open up the entry to the right, and just get on that curb, straighten the car, and get on the power. I think there could be a little more in it, but the tires may not be quite ready, as he just slides wide and hits the wall. That is the end of this qualifying run, I would wager. Let's have a look with Johnny B, who is still in provisional pole. They do sound nice, these LMP2s as well. It's an incredibly physical car track combo, this one. Of course, depending on your setup. Hello, Hardcore Hobbit. This is, I believe I pointed your username out in the last race. This is one of my favorites I've seen. So you win the username award. Johnny is now approaching the last twisty bit of the circuit. To the right, just kissing the curb, just about. To the left, getting on the power. Getting all the way out to that white line and into that curb there before going on the massive straight. But you almost wish that you had DRS on a straight like this, because it is such a long straight. And turning in to Sunset Bend, he turns in a bit earlier and goes a bit tighter than what we've seen so far. That is also a line that very much works through there. Again, it very much is a corner with a lot of options, as JK has now taken provisional pole with a 49.9. Johnny continues to see if he can find improvement. Let's see, we have Club 50 out on track. Uwe is just about to set his first lap, it seems, and let's have a look at the livery. It's got some palm trees on it this time around, it looks like. It does look pretty good on the onboard too. Getting round the hairpin there on the power. Want to get all the exit you can. This is a long, flat out section. Let's see how he takes this right-left. Does the conservative entry early on the power to get out of there. Just a bit risky if you can keep it pinned. Maybe not in an LMP2. With that exit in a car with less downforce, you would definitely be considering getting on the power early, but also you need to be able to keep it pinned for the left on the exit. A couple of downshifts into the right-hander here. It's one of those corners, this right-hander, where you always feel like you could have taken a bit more, but if you had, you probably would have gone off track. It's a tricky one to get just right. Now on the big straight, what kind of lap is Uwe gonna set? Just getting over. There's a massive bump there on the inside. So we have a car entering the pit lane. He sets a 153. Pretty flat. It's a nice lap. Let's see if Mr. Birkenhead has any more luck on his current lap, which he is just wrapping up. Just exited the white line there. I'm not sure on the track limits on AMS2's version of the track, if that is legal. Let's see if it's an improvement anyway. It is not an improvement, or it was not a legal lap. Not possible to say from our perspective. He is on the limit through there in the left-hander. Nearly sideways. Bit cleaner out of this one. Let's see how he does in the hairpin. On the brakes right at the 400 mark. Turning into the right, nearly sideways again. He is really pushing this car to the limit. Plenty of camber on those tires, I suppose, to really be able to lean on them like that. Opening up the right-hander there. Going a little tighter on the exit, but still able to keep it pinned. Oh, just getting on that curb, you can see how that unsettles the car. He has to wait a little longer than he may have wanted to get on the power. Into the right, just getting on the curb to the left, cutting that wide line as wide as you dare. Onto the curb on the exit. That looked like a pretty clean trip through there. Let's see how he does through sunset. Keeps it straight this time around. Turning in between the 200 and the 100 mark. He keeps it wide, keeps it out, avoids the bump. It's probably pretty wise on these prototypes, especially if you had suspension damage to worry about, but we don't in the simulator. That is a 50.4, but JK has improved to a 49.8. He seems to be the dominant force in today's qualifying session. Approaching the hairpin here. Looks clean. And just have a look at how much the chassis is bopping up and down this this bumpy track. It's not fun necessarily. I know in VR you get shaken around a little bit. But I don't know how many, if any, are in VR today. All the way out to the white line there, cutting as much as I think you physically can. As Jake of RPM takes MVRC, Jake's P2 by a absolutely nothing, by a thousandth of a second. That's a tricky word. That is crazy. Is this an improvement for JK? No, it is not. So I wonder who is our fastest Liche? Out of curiosity, that may be J Turn of AMSU. AMSU, in fact, has been on the podium for every single race this season. So they are very much looking good to defend their P4 in the championship. Let's have a look on board with this Liege. All the way in to get on that curb. I think there might have been a bit more in that exit, but I don't know for sure. Not to sit here and armchair critique the driving. I'm not the one putting myself on display here. Oh, just getting a bit sideways, and that's the end of that qualifying run. Jake, you do have a whole race to make it up. So let's see. We have our provisional top 3 here. Johnny B has taken P2. Putting Jake in P3 and JK still in provisional pole. See if Johnny has a response here. JK improving his pole time to 49.7. Does Johnny have a response? As it crosses the line here. It's a 49.9, so it was an improvement, but not enough to dethrone JK. So finally we have Andy just finishing up. Is he driving to the pit lane? He is. So that means our top 3 is JK of MVRC and Johnny B of KCSR and Jake of RPM. 2 of them managing to break past the 150 barrier. And one with a 150.4 a thousandth of a second from Jake Birkenhead. Some pretty close gaps out there, I see. There's the obvious one here. And we also have the 51.019 and the 51.03. Very close too. There's a lot of people within a tenth of a second of each other. So this should be some close racing. The race itself is a fairly straightforward one today. It is, let's have a look here, 45 minutes long. And there will be sunny weather throughout with some clouds. No rain is what I'm getting at. We're looking at 24, maybe 25 laps of racing. So the cars will not be able to do the full 45 minutes if you're hefty on the power. So there are a couple of strategies that the drivers may be running today to look out for. You can go flat out and you can go into the pit lane near the end to take a bit of extra fuel. Or you can fuel save, which will definitely be necessary if we do get to 25 laps and not stop at all. And also, the track temp, as you may have noticed, is 56 degrees Celsius. It is toasty, meaning that the medium tire will absolutely struggle. So people might be running on the hard tire, and if they elect to go in for fuel, they could go for a medium tire with a bit more grip. The grip difference is not massive with these endurance tires, but they could elect to switch to a bit more grippy tires and see if they can make something of that, but they will lose time in the pit lane for doing so. However, in the later stages of the race, yes, that is right, it will be getting dark, so the track will be cooling down as the Florida sun will release its grip on it, but who knows if it's by enough to really make anything viable. So basically, if people who take the medium tire will be having to do some management, and those who take the hard tire can just push them. This is the thing with endurance tires. They tires designed for endurance. You will be there's not the biggest grip difference between them, but it's very much about the track conditions they are designed to run in. So a harder tire will be more tolerant to running on a harder track. So, as we await the driver briefing, do believe I have run myself out of things to fill the time with, so hopefully it will get there soon enough. There we go. 2 minutes and then we are going. The track is a bit cooler now. We are in the morning at 10 AM, so I'm guessing we will have time acceleration since we're going to be racing into the dark. So that also means the weather or the track temp will probably be accelerated too from how I remember AMS2 working. So we will probably be seeing the track warm up into the 50s again. .40 seconds to go. This turn 1, being as high speed as it is, will require a lot of the drivers to keep it clean. That is our 20-second warning. Generally, the first few corners of Sebring are just so tricky to really race. Like everyone is readied up, except for me, because I will not be racing, obviously. Now I need to be real quick. Oh, we're doing a rolling start here, are we? Yes, it seems that way. As a couple of cars are looking smashed up, I'm sure this is just a visual bug and they don't already have damage. So here we do need to look out for JK then, as he will be under a speed limit of 120 and exceeding that for not a very long time does mean a penalty. So hopefully he is someone who has routine in that. I do wonder why these two cars are looking so banged up already. But there must just be some kind of bug. I'm also curious to see if they will be starting single file or going double file. This will have been discussed in the driver briefing, of course. So obviously ignore this damage. It is, I would at least guess, only visual and a client-side issue. See the drivers weaving, trying to build some tire temperature. JK very much, I would guess, focused on keeping the speed limit and does not have time for weaving, or maybe he's just that confident he does not need the extra tire temp. Driver still staying single file. Still a bit to go on this formation lap. Looks like he is just playing around with warming the brakes a little bit. See the car just tilting back and forth there. Looks like the drivers are going side by side. Looks like they're going double file for the start. That does spice up the first couple of corners a little bit, in my experience. Just approaching the start now. As the lights go out and we go green for the finale of the AMS2 Community Cup of 2025. Everyone's gotten away clean, it looks like. As we head into turn 1, how will this play out? JK coming out in front, but Johnny with staying around the outside and everyone going 2 by 2 through there. It looks like everybody has gotten through there cleanly. Let's hop back a little bit. See, oh, there's some people out on the grass being squeezed through these corners. It's a little bit of contact going around, but all good. As the top 3 has completely changed, it's redacted in P2 and Alpha Signal in P3. What has happened to Johnny and... there must have been an incident, because we have a lot of people who were high up who are no longer so. JK getting the pole advantage of being involved in minimal carnage. And that has left him with a 2-second gap back to Redacted, who in turn has another, second and a half back to Alpha Signal. Let's hop back through the field here, see if we can catch some moves happening. Everybody's still relatively close together, but tires still cold. Nobody daring to go for anything aggressive yet, I would guess. We do have Donnie and Jay turn quite close together here with Alpha Signal. Let's see if there's anything to be done. Looks like Donnie of RPM here has a bit more straight line speed than J-Turn. J-Turn is also in the Ligier. And I believe the straight line speed may be one of its disadvantages. It is a bit more draggy. Does maybe produce a bit more downforce, but as we hear the lift and coast going on, so Donnie is fuel saving, I would wager. Let's just stay on board into the hairpin. See if we can definitively see what he's doing. Yeah, he is lifting quite early. So we do have a battle going on here. Johnny making his recovery. Going around the outside of Jakub from Slipstream. And has managed to make it stick. Now looking to do something similar to Grumpy Old Fart. He is eager to get back to his podium paying position, and it looks like he has thrown fuel saving out the window if he ever was going to do it. Let's get these moves done. Track position is important here at Sebring. It's not the easiest track to execute an overtake on. Let's have a look here. We do have a 3-way battle, maybe even 4-way battle, as we have... Is that Glenn or Jakub going off the track? That was Jakub just getting off the track there. That must allow Glenn to close the gap a little bit. Will we see a move going into sunset? He is looking for it. He has the overlap. Going through the tight line. You can take multiple lines here. Just getting squeezed a little bit. Out of the corner. How did that end up? They're still side by side, aren't they? But just about. Jakub holds on to it. Is there another move here into turn 1? Not at the minute. Let's have a look with Johnny carving his way through the field past Rodano. Next up is Bill of Slipstream. Johnny just really on another league for the moment, or in another league pace-wise for the moment, but he may also be giving up some extra fuel or some fuel saving to execute this. Does not look like Bill is saving fuel, or he is at least defending this position. J Turn has managed to make it up to P4. I think he was there already, to be fair. Racing for P3 with Alpha Signal. Donnie close behind. I have a couple of Ligiers here. A Ligier on the podium so far. That is very cool. Let's see. J-Turn can get an exit. That'll help him get past here. Just going a little tight into this corner before the straight. Oh, sorry about that. I muted the wrong audio feed. Go me. As he gets very close into Sunset Bend here. Oh, sorry for that. Very, very close. Going on to the main straight now. Is it enough to get a move done into turn 1? There's a slipstream to be had. Donnie is right there with him. Has to defend that as well. No overtake to be had yet, as Avery of 10 tenths is in the pit lane. That is with some massive damage. That is not what you love to see. That is repairs, if not a retirement. More damaged cars coming in. What has happened here? Oh, there's a missing wing there. That is not what you love to see. Have a look here with Glenn and Grumpy Old Fart. Very close going into the hairpin. Will he outbrake himself? Will he get it stopped? Just about, and hooking it through the hairpin. I think that leaves him with the advantage. Mr. Glenn. Johnny is now getting to Krish, really wanting to get past. Can see, really wants to get back to those podium positions. Maybe also starting to think about his fuel consumption a little bit. Coming out with a better exit, just trying to figure out where there's room, but Krish takes the middle of the road, and when someone does that, you have nowhere to go. And all you can really do is back off when you have overspeed. Opening up this entry all the way. Trying to get every bit of draft that he can pick up. I think he's gonna make it past here. Getting squeezed a little bit. Krish not using all the track, but he's entitled not to. But it looks like Johnny just took it. Now he has a few seconds up to the battle we were just following between Donnie, J-Turn and Alpha Signal. Still racing very close. Looks like DeRocco and Grumpy here are also caught up in a, what is this, a 4-way battle for P10? At least a 3-way battle. Lots of cars still very close together here. See if there are any moves being made. Looks like Tines may be trying for something here. Let's jump on board and see if we can get some of the good views here. do have a few cars. It's hard to know who exactly to follow in this trace. There's contact up ahead. That is not Rodano. That was, who was that? It was the other RC car. It was DeRocco. I do believe that was contact. And we see Uwe slowing down to wait. He has concluded that he may have caused this, I believe. He's just trying to wait to let DeRocco back past or back through. So that has reduced this battle a little bit, or the amount of cars in it. As Johnny is back behind Krish. He must have made a mistake too. Andy and Tinez here. It is flu season. Have a look with J-Turn, Alpha Signal, and Donnie still going together. Okay. Yeah, apologies for the cough. I hope it does not spread through YouTube. If so, Google has some scary technology. Just coming out onto the back straight here. J-Turn is getting close to Alpha Signal, but not sure he is close enough. If he can get a good exit out of Sunset here, maybe there's a move to be made. That does resemble a good exit to me. And in fact, maybe even a bit better than Alpha Signal's. Let's see into turn 1 here. He does have a bit of overspeed, but will he be able to take advantage? No. The fuel saving also just maybe taking the confidence to make a move away from the drivers here. If they're not used to racing while racing to a fuel target, as Alpha Signal is now slightly off track. And that allows J-Turn and Donnie to go through, it seems. As Johnny is now in pit lane. He's missing a wing, so that is not just phantom damage. That is damage that he will need to repair. So that leaves him going on another recovery. Let's see how long he has to wait in the pit lane. Donnie and Alpha Signal and J-Turn still going at it. Now promoted to a battle for the podium. Or well, it was a battle for the podium. What I meant to say was J-Turn now promoted to the podium. That is my bad. Donnie does look aggressive here though. And Alpha Signal has dropped behind a bit, so he has less to worry about. Oh, that is a lot of overspeed. He is side by side. Will he clear before they even get to the corner? It looks like he will. That leaves J-Turn on the back foot. Can he do anything out of Sunset here? It looks like Donnie is running away. As we see a car, that is Jake of RPM having trouble in pit lane, I think. Rodano and Glenn still racing. There's still a big battle going on behind them too. Was that behind there? That was Uwe just going a little wide, it seemed. This is Tinez, Grumpy Old Fart, Andy and Uwe Fetzer. Into the hairpin here. No moves being made so far, but it does look like Grumpy Old Fart is right on Tines. Grumpy just defending a little bit here. Slightly wide on the entry, getting onto the dirt on the exit. See if he's able to capitalize. It's very hard to get any kind of move done here, but he does show himself in the mirror. It does compromise him a bit, but he's also managed to compromise Grumpy. Will that leave him with the move made? Not quite. That has actually put Uwe on the advantage. He's also in the faster car. Up the inside, but he does back out. He's not looking to make that move just yet. Oh, and there's a spin behind. That was... Is that Jakub of Slipstream? It was. That is missing a wing. That's going to be hard to get back to pit lane, as he's just now realizing, I think. Cannot go very fast without your rear wing to stabilize the car. And who knows what else is knocked out of alignment. Let's return to the battle here. Does look like Tines has gained a bit of ground as a result of the battling here. Grumpy defending once again into the right left. That does leave you pretty unable to do much as the attacker. It will cost a bunch of time. This battle is kind of going back and forth between Andy being on the attack and then on the defense. With each move he makes, he gives up a bit of time to Uwe. Uwe really needs to stay close and capitalize when he can. And that is a DNF from Jakub, unfortunately. I've lost a few drivers this race. Are we gonna see a move here? At least looking to give the impression of one happening. It has maybe sent Grumpy a little wide. He is having the overspeed, getting side by side. On the outside for turn 1. Very wide there, leaving all the space in the world. That does leave Grumpy able to hold on to his position. Oh, a little sideways through that turn number 2 there. That will allow Uwe to get next to him, I think. Oh, and there's a bit of door banging. He will hold on to the position for now, unless he feels he caused enough contact to give up and wait. But generally the rule is only if you take someone out that you wait, definitively at least. Oh, and Grumpy going deep here on the first part of the corner. Can he save it? I think he has. Has put him back into this battle though. Andy now back on the attack. As you see, now on the defense, it is very much a back and forth here. Getting a better exit out of that corner though. That does leave Andy a bit of breathing room. Let's tune in with Alpha Signal and J-Turn, our two top Ligiers. They are competing for best Ligier, I believe. Let's just verify that I'm not talking out of my ass. These are Oricas. So is this? Yep. So let's stay with this battle of the Ligers. Actually, see, we've just missed Andy and Grumpy swapping positions there. There's been a move made. Grumpy have a response, not for the moment. Still, a three-way fight has actually become a four-way fight almost. Or is this DeRocco, actually? It is, so this is not... He is here as a four-car setup, but he is on a different lap. He's a lap down, is what I mean to say. So he will be hoping to unlap himself, I think. How will that play into this battle? To see Uwe getting really close through here. Not quite able to capitalize. It is not a place you traditionally can go for moves on this track. Let's see if Draco is gonna be unlapping himself here. I think he is. At least trying to. Not going for anything too aggressive though. Oh, as we just see Grumpy going for the inside on turn 1. He has pushed Andy wide. That has also let Uwe through. And maybe even Diraco here. That was costly. Oh, and then we have Grumpy off the track. That will allow Uwe to get next to him. How will that cost him? A bit chaotic for the moment. Going too wide into the hairpin. Just Andy leaving enough room here for Grumpy to hold on, but it has cost him the position to wait, actually, Diraco was for position. What was I talking about? I must have been confused. I'm sorry about that. He was for position and he has now taken this whole battle. Just as he arrived. So Andy will definitely feel like he was shoved off the track there. Be eager to get back in front of Grumpy. See if he does indeed make that happen. Grumpy maybe not quite carrying the speed he could be through there. That will allow Andy to go for a move into Sunset Bend here. Grumpy just backing out. Maybe hoping for the superior exit out here. Both of them avoiding the big bump on the inside there. Does look like this fight is settled for now. What is not settled is our Battle of the Ligers. They're still going at it. Alpha Signal right on the gearbox of J-Turn, going on the inside into the hairpin, but looping it around, letting J-Turn stay in P4 now with much less pressure on him. Glenn and Krish now coming through as we see Alpha Signal rejoining there to the left. Also hear some fuel saving going on here. Ooh, just about managing to stay out of the back of Krish. Has opened up the gap a little bit. Grumpy and Andy do still seem to be going at it though, with Uwe and Draco a bit up the road. Glenn and Krish going side by side here, approaching turn 1. Glenn on the outside, but not quite holding on to it. It does look like the field has spread out a little bit. Everyone's settled into their own race, trying to save their fuel and not need a pit stop, most likely. I do think the pit stop is not what you want to do, unless you do have a massive gap. Do you have Glenn and Krish still going at it though? Oh, what happened there? It was nearly a spin or something. Just catching back up. Now on lap 15 out of 24, maybe 25. JK very much having checked out up front. Maybe we should check in and see if we can find out if he's fuel saving. Does look like Glenn has the pace advantage here, but he does have to get the pass done if he wants to really take advantage. Does struggle with the braking into this corner, it seems. That's the second time we've seen something like that. We have the RRC teammates here, very close together. Are they gonna race or are they gonna help each other out? Let's check in with JK, see if we can figure out if he's fuel saving. Not into this corner, but that is also not one where you can do massive amounts. Does not sound like JK is fuel saving. Glenn going on the inside for Sunset Bend here and has managed to unsettle Krish enough, I think, to take the position. As we see a car behind. Is that Krish pitting? It is. So he must be going in for fuel and tires since he's electing to do it this early. Let's try and see if we can have a look at his pit crew. They can give us any hints. It does look like a tire change. No, maybe not. That was a very short stop. I do wonder what that was for. Back with Andy and Uwe here. Here you see a perfect example of the two different approaches to this right-left that both work. It got closer in the corner, but out of it, the gap stayed the same. Here, however, the gap has not stayed the same. Andy took that corner quite a bit better. Going around the outside, it looks like he's being let by. Maybe there is just an incident from earlier being made up for, perhaps. I don't remember if these two have had a squabble. We're definitely getting to later in the day. The sun now right in their faces as they go down Sunset Bend, named so after the fact that the sun sets right at the end of it. Or at the end of that straight before it. I do wonder if it will be late enough for us to see fireworks today. That would be cool. Big gains on the brake here. As we have Grumpy going into the pit lane. What for? Might just be fuel. Check in with Alpha Signal and Glenn. These are the two closest battles out on track at the moment. The Alpha Signal and Glenn. And the battle between Uwe and Andy. Uwe and Andy looking very close together on track and also catching up to Mr. Rodano. Shadows of the cars getting long now. I do love this effect. Especially when you're driving in VR, you see the long shadow out of the windows. I think he's just been unsettled by how much he gained under braking there. Saw it in the last lap too. He was definitely stronger on the brakes in turn 2. Let's see if this can turn into a 3-car battle here. JK has now extended his lead to half a minute, but I do wonder if he'll need to splash for fuel or if he just has it figured out. Super tight. Because it didn't seem he was fuel saving when we checked in on him. Ooh, as Andy just goes on to the dirt there. That will give Uwe an opportunity to strike. Sun now bright orange and setting over Sunset Bend. It looks like Andy has gone a bit wide here. Uwe once again just getting a little bit closer through the corners. Now he'll have to remember that he is stronger on the brakes in turn 2. Try and keep the car close until then. He does take a wider entry in turn 1 here. Catches back up. Will he capitalize? It does not look like it. Not this time around. So we have a car off in front. That is the Rocco of RRC, I think. Just coming back to his teammate here. They're now very close together actually. As the headlights start to come on, the track starts to get a little darker. We have the teammates working together or swapping positions here. Or are they just racing? As Andy is looking to get involved. Gets past Rodano. Oh, and that's a spin. I wonder if there was some kind of contact there. Just saw it in the background. Now this has very much become a 3-car battle. Andy looking to make some gains here. Was that Jake Birkenhead luring in the background? I think it is. Now the sun has set and is no longer on the sky. Going up the inside is Mr. Andy. Into Sunset. Going over the bumps on the inside. Where does that leave Dirocco? Does leave him in P9. Going a bit wide through turn 1. Uwe taking a cleaner line this time. He's strong on the brakes here, remember? Ah, and he has Jake Birkenhead right on him, right on the inside. That was a bold move. Are we witnessing a recovery drive in the last 7 minutes from him here? Now it is getting really dark. Track temperature should be coming down. Unfortunately, I think this does not update live. The widget in the top left. I think that is just the starting conditions. It's very close to the Rocco here, but not going for the move yet. Is looking for the opportunity though, going round the outside here to take the inside, going into the last twisty bit of the track. A little wide off the track, but he has gotten it done. And that promotes him into P9. Check back in with Glenn and Alpha. Still in a battle that seems to have gone on for ages. Just following close, waiting for a mistake he can capitalize on. JK now 34.9 seconds in front, 35 seconds in front of P2. Very impressive stuff. Really is just checking out today. Still no sign of pitting. Close here on the straight. Will the slipstream help Mr. Glenn? He is shaping up to go for it, but he does back out. Just compromising his own entry a little bit as a result, going over the bumps, and that does leave Alpha Signal with a better exit, I believe. So we have Pavlot and Rodano going side by side. And that has resulted in a position for Mr. Ott, which he is going to hold on to. Uwe and Duraco coming through turn 1 here. Just a bit wide through turn 2. Into 4 here. And that is JK in the pit lane. So he will be coming in for fuel. So has he done enough to ward off Redacted, who is just coming down the back straight now? Is that his stop? Is it that quick to get the fuel you need? Or has he not stopped yet? I think that is his stop. Redacted coming around the final corner. JK still on the pit exit. Should be seeing him up the road here, I think. Or has he already? Oh, there he is. Now he is just a second in front of Redacted. This race is not over yet. So now JK will have to see if he can hold on to it. And again, if you do not remember, the visual damage on him seems to just be a game bug. It was there just from the very beginning. As Redacted is slightly closing the gap. Coming down to about 9/10 now. But Redacted may be fuel saving, whereas I suspect JK is flat out to the end. I think Redacted is fuel saving indeed. So this may not be an even fight, so to speak. Let's check in with Pavel Ott and Andy and Duraco here. Still in a big squabble here, a big battle. That is 2 of our Ligier entries. Very, very close here, but this is not somewhere you want to go for a move. You can avoid it, but he does. And he does go a little wide. That may allow Pavel to consider going around the outside, but I think he has backed off. He does maybe... I suspect he may be struggling a little bit with fuel, because he does seem to be lifting out very early. Then again, not like Andy's running away. See what happens here down the straight. Just hear him, he's not fully flat out, I don't think, and he's lifting out very early. He may be struggling for fuel. He's not going for moves, at least. Ooh, just having to take avoiding action through turn 1 as he has a bit more speed than the car in front. Pavel and Andy just battling for P10 on... Is this the final lap? I think we may be on the final lap, yes. Because this is JK coming down into Sunset Bend. And I hear fireworks. I think this has been timed perfectly for finishing fireworks. I don't remember exactly where they are, but I hear them. Hop back and see if we can spot them. Someone still on a lap. There they are, coming down to the back straight. Let's catch up with this battle and see the fireworks once again as we do. That's very nice detail. Ooh, just getting on the inside for the straight there. That is Pavel, I think, taking the P10. Is it? Is it, oh, is it settled? I think it is just about. So, some very good battles to catch out there. Still some fireworks to be witnessed here with Uwe Fetzer. He will be our last car to cross the line. Let's just get these out of the way so we can really see the fireworks for a second. And that concludes the point scoring rounds of the AMS2 Community Cup for this season. I believe there is still a fun round to be had, a finale of sorts. I'm not sure if that will be broadcast, but that is the end of our championship. So now we just await results to be posted and see exactly how it all ended up. But this has been a good time. Let's just have a look. Give the drivers a moment to exchange GGs. And see if we have anybody wanting to have a quick yap with me after. I'll start by just looking through here. We have JK with the win, as we discussed. Great drive from him, with some super fast laps being put in and managing to offset the fuel save that Redacted was on. Just about. Redacted in P2 and Donnie ending up taking P3 with an extra shout out to Jay Turn for multiple reasons. First off, he's the highest finishing Ligier by quite a gap. And that is after claiming, oh, I'm not the fastest in these cars, so I'll hope some strategy can help me out. But I think he's done pretty well for himself here. And also for, along with Roy, being the driver behind this whole thing. Without them, there's no Community Cup. So an extra special thank you to them for another year of the Community Cup. Some of the most competitive racing you'll find in AMS2. And speaking of, we do have a few people popping in. As always, I would like you to use the raise hand function if you would like to have a quick yap with me. Just because I know sometimes people are just here to listen, so there's a raise hand button. If you wouldn't mind pressing it. I think I will start by speaking with Redacted, if he will indulge me. So that was a very well fought P2. I saw you were on a fuel save, whereas JK elected to go to put the pedal to the metal. But that was a good drive.
Yeah, such a shame. It's 2.6 seconds. If I didn't go off track a few times, I would have definitely had that. But fantastic race. I was just staring at that time, like on that last lap, just hoping and praying it clocks out, because I was on 0.1 liters when I finished.
Yeah, that was it was a nail biter when he came out of the pits, and that gap was under a second. But yeah, like I said, very good drive, man, and congratulations on the P2.
Yeah, my best drive in this game. I'm happy with it. I can't wait to watch the replay back. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, thank you. Let's have a look here. I think we shall speak to Mr. J Turn, and to the people popping in. If you would like to have a quick yap with me, please do use the raise hand button so I know if you're just here to listen or here to speak. So, J Turn, our highest finishing Ligier. Very good drive from you as well, man. Some fun battles you were involved in too.
Yeah, got a few battles. I was on epic fuel save strategy because I saw JK disappearing into the distance, and I thought, yeah, he's an alien. He's probably able to do those lap times and fuel save. So I was factoring in a 25 lap race. But I also knew that if he did pit, I wouldn't know until right at the end that it wasn't going to be 25. It would only be 24 laps. So yeah, a little bit frustrated that I didn't push earlier. I didn't gamble on the 24 because I think me and Donny could have ended up having a battle for P3. By the time I realised it was only going to be 24 laps, I only had 2 laps I could push. But cracking battles with Alpha Signal. Alpha did spin when we were side by side in the hairpin. I hope there wasn't contact. I didn't feel any till after he spun, where he just clipped me as his car spun around. So I'm hoping that wasn't anything to do with me. Obviously, you need to look at the replay for that one. And somebody else I was having a cracking battle with. Oh, Donny came through, didn't he? So Donny was sat there fuel saving behind us, and then eventually got bored and came past. So yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was really good. From what I saw, I did not see any contact there. I do believe I spotted the spin. Let's actually, speaking of, get Donnie up here and see if we can get his perspective on the battles.
Yeah, I just want to say congrats to J-Turn and anyone in the Ligier, because like I didn't test the Ligier, but my memory was it was at least a few tenths, if not a second, a lap slower. So like if you had taken that car, the Orica, you would have easily beaten me, I'd say.
I did test the Orica and didn't like it. So they've got the same engine. I like the stability of the Ligier. So yeah, I take it you factored it only for a 24 lap race, Donny, from the start.
No,
is that what you were going for?
No, I thought it was 25. So I
did you?
had I had like 4 point something liters left. Like so,
well, then,
yeah. I got a load of fuel saving done in those first few laps behind you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw you loiter there. Well, hats off to you there, man, because I was lifting, coasting, fuel saving to the max, and also because it was only 24 laps. I had about 3.5 liters left, enough for another lap. But for you to have 4 and a bit there and still be outpacing me considerably, lots of respect, man. Well done. You deserve that podium, that P3. Congrats.
Thanks. I'll put that down to the car mainly, though.
I'm going to head back to the audience, Jonas, but whilst I'm here, I want to say massive... sorry, caught the mic there. Massive thank you for doing the broadcast. It's really appreciated. You've put a load of time and effort in, as has Quarto as well. I'll be chatting to him later. All the drivers, I think, really appreciate what you do with the broadcast. So yeah, really appreciate it. Maybe we'll get you on track next year, or maybe in the broadcast booth. Who knows? But thank you very much for 2025.
Yeah, thank you, man. It has, as usual, been a fun time. And Donnie, congratulations on the P3. That was some well-fought racing out there. I think I don't have anything to add that J-Turn hasn't already said, but just again, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks to J-Turn and everyone for the racing. So, yeah, bye.
Yeah, see you. And just in case there's anyone who hasn't heard, if you would like to come up and have a quick yap, please do use the raise hand button. Otherwise, I'll assume you're here to listen. And let's just hear from Mr. Birkenhead. That seemed...
Hello.
Was it disaster?
Well, I got absolutely murdered into the second corner. I lost my rear wing. Planned on doing the no stop. You know, by the time I took a rear wing, I went back out. Pace was good. Second fastest lap of the race, but being a bit scruffy, pushing too hard, and track limits here, you'd get pinged for just putting a wheel on the grass, exiting a corner, which gains you no time, but you know, pinged the track limits, and that just happened one too many times, as well as accidentally turning off my bloody pit lane speed limiter too early. So yeah, would have been eighth on the road, and then just
Yeah,
race.
bad
Simple
got to
put.
worse. But the good news, man, you are, despite of that, from my understanding, already crowned drivers champion, and you have helped MVRC to take the team championship even before the finale. So still a great job for the whole season, man.
Yeah, JK did a great race, textbook. You know, we all told him that's not the fastest strategy, but you tell JK anything and he'll still win doing what he's doing.
Yeah. And speaking of, thank you, Jake. I will put you back to the audience, and we will speak as the final man to our race winner. What a strategy, or what a massive bit of pace you pulled off there. That was super. I was very much doubting, is he fuel saving? I wasn't sure, and no, he's not fuel saving. Is he gonna be pitting, or has he just figured it out right to the limit? And apparently you had figured it out right to the limit, but not fuel saving.
No, thanks, Jonas. Yeah, just flat out really, and hope for the best is usually my way of racing. So luckily it paid off. Although it was luck, I really do believe it was luck that got me this one. I think if Jake, Johnny, the other Jake, and I didn't have the incident in the turn 2 or whatever it was, that would have been me done. I don't think the strategy really was particularly great, but you know, seemed to work out. And it was good fun. Really tough actually when it started getting dark. I mean, I couldn't really see what I was doing, to be honest. So I'm happy with it. Good fun and a great season. So thanks to all the organisers, well done to Jake for winning the championship. And yeah, good as always.
Yeah, that was, well, as I said, you say it was luck, but you did qualify yourself on pole, and that is where you'll have the least risk of carnage. So I do think you did pull off a great race today. So yeah, again,
really
congratulations, man.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And yeah, another cracking season. So roll on 2026.
Yes, indeed. And that does it for, yeah, like I said, for the point scoring rounds of 2025. That is the championship over. And I would like to thank everyone who has been tuning in to my little broadcasts here as well. It has been a pleasure to have you in the chat. And I will hopefully see you next year. Oh, shit, we have, I rounded off too early. We have Tines here. There you go.
Mate.
Just
I know you were
spotted
just signing off there. I just wanted to thank all of the livery designers, especially Johnny, Mr. Noodle, and Pavel, because they've done a lot of work for teams they didn't even drive for and doing independent skins and stuff and helping teams that didn't have designers. So massive thanks to those guys. But of course, as well, a massive thanks to Roy and Jim for hosting and doing all the admin stuff. And of course, to your good self and your colleagues in the broadcast rooms. Thanks a lot for all your work, mate. Really appreciate that.
That is much appreciated, man. And yeah, like you say, there is a lot of work that goes into a season of Community Cup, and it's very, very good to show appreciation to everyone. So it would be cool if everyone could pop into the Discord and just, yeah, just give a little shout out to the people who've made this happen. But right, and I see on the other hand, my round off becomes less and less less and less relevant, and this is not even someone who was in the server. But let's indulge Mr. Rob. Hello, man.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
I just was gonna sing "We Are the Champions," but it seems a bit flat now.
Well, yes, indeed. MVRC did take the championship, and congratulations on that.
Yeah, we did. So big thanks to all my team and everybody else. I mean, it's all about having fun at the end of the day, but it's great to see our boys on top, and see you now next season.
Yeah, thank you, man. And with that, I will round off for real. No more hands, please. Like I said, I will see you next year. I see you, Tines. That is almost not funny. All right.